Fear is a pandemic. Fear is a plague. Fear is a virus. And you get these young kids watching all of this nonsense on TikTok that the end of the world's coming and that's it. And Revelations, the Bible. By the way, the Bible is predictive programming. The clowns that are behind this nonsense here are the lineage directly connected to the same shadow, whatever you want to call them, soulless shadow beings that wrote the Bible. So in case you haven't figured it out by now, it isn't the Bible predicted. No, what happened was back then when they wrote the Bible, hundreds and thousands of years ago. Actually, this King James version is 1611, so that's hundreds of years. But the Book of Kings, the Old Testament, the Hebrew Bible, goes back a little farther, like almost like 1600, maybe say 2000. Okay, so they didn't have the technological capacity to do what they do now, so therefore they knew that they would, so they projected exactly what their intended propaganda and their intended agenda would be further in the future. So the Bible's telling you, just like the movies, it's predictive programming. We are going to tell you what, because see, understand also something. The reason why the reptilians are telling you what they do is because they feel by telling you what they're going to do to you, it frees them of the karma. This is what they believe. Like, in other words, it's like somebody saying, okay, in 5 minutes I'm going to kill you, but since I'm telling you, it's going to free me from the karmic debt that will be associated with this murder. So therefore, I'm freeing myself. Just like people, when they go to church or synagogue, they go pray to the rabbi or the priest. Father, forgive me if I have sinned. I murdered my family. Okay, my son, it's okay. Just give me $20 and say 10 Hail Marys and you'll be just fine. You know, and then the Jewish religion, the Jewish cult, they believe that if they fast for 3 days, it absolves them of any implications of wrongdoing for all their sins and transgressions. So in other words, they're pure as the driven snow. It's all garbage. It's nonsense. So what you have here is the same. That's basically the same thing. So you have TikTok, which is a CCP mind control mechanism, owned, operated, and controlled by the Chinese Communist Party. And it's brainwashing all of these young kids thinking that they could be a boy and a girl at the same time. You could be a man but give birth. All that insanity. Transgender agenda, the woke agenda, BLM, Antifa, critical race theory. You weren't allowed to say, make America great again or else you're a racist. You know, all that nonsense. It's just all garbage. The school shootings and now it's a protest. Some of the protesters were asked, what are you here for? Well, I don't know. I was just paid. Yeah, of course, you can see what's going on, folks. You know, with the school shootings, don't you understand? How do you think a 16-year-old is going to get his hands on $80,000 of weapons and ammo and he doesn't even have a job? Is anybody putting this stuff together? They're trying to create dissension and chaos and divide everybody. Look at the comment sections of Facebook and YouTube and all of the online stuff, TikTok. All of you just fight constantly. You constantly fight. That's your nature. You can't think for yourselves. You're egotistical. You have to win. I've got to beat this guy at the comment section. You're going to put all of your energy towards that, and you're going to buy into the machine. You're going to believe what this machine is telling you. Oh, you know, the end of the world, the economy. Oh, that's it. My life is over. And the universe is like, okay, if you're gonna validate the illusion as the experience of being a reality, then that's your loss. You know, like these young kids, like I said, they're watching these TikTok videos. Oh, the end of the world is coming. I've been watching so many videos today, and that's it. It's over. That this isn't our sun. You know, we live in a glass firmament. The end of days. That's it. We're finished. Oh, you know, I've heard this for over 50 years now. I've heard it for over 50 years now. It's the same package coming to you delivered differently in a different box, but it's fear. Fear is a pandemic. Fear is a virus, and that stuff spreads and it contaminates people's minds. Absolutely. And it paralyzes you beyond the capacity for all forms of rational thought. That's why you can't think for yourselves. Because when you're in a state of paranoia and panic, and you're absolutely terrified, you lose the capacity for proactive autonomous intelligence and self-thought, self-thinking. That goes right out the window. You just go right into survival mode. All you know is, how do I survive this? And so much so that you'll even ditch your family to ensure your own survival. That's what you're programmed to do. Don't believe me? Look at the school shootings and look at the shooting in Vegas like a few years back. Those people just bolted. One mother actually ditched her teenage daughter and took off. I think she was 11 at the time. The daughter was 11 and the mother just left her right there. Left her child. And that's what most of you are all about. You can't think for yourself. You always take your orders from the satanic matrix. When push comes to shove, it's every man for himself. And even though you think that you have all this, I'm so great person, I'm smiling, you're not. It's all an illusion. How many of you out there actually, honestly, really nice people? When was the last time you fed a homeless person? When was the last time you did something for somebody else other than yourself? When was the last time you thought about somebody other than yourself? When was the last time you said to the universe, "How may I help you today?" Instead of saying, "You owe me." You know, when was the last time that happened? When was the last time you didn't complain to God about something that you felt isn't going good or right in your life, or your plans didn't work out, so let's blame God for that? You know, I'm getting serious here. You can see right now what they did something to the sun, folks. It looks like a gigantic LED bulb. It's all white. It's lifeless. Our sun is yellowish orange with a warm glow, and it feeds this earth life, nutrients through what they call photosynthesis. You could see this is not our sun. They probably put heavy metals in the atmosphere to block the earth's ability and capacity to feed the sun. So those heavy metals are probably filtering out the elements of light that are actually life-giving. That's why the sun looks like a giant LED bulb. You can clearly see they're up to something with that fake eclipse they had a few weeks ago. That was all staged. Anyway, because here in New York, I didn't see any eclipse. I looked directly at it. They said, "Don't look at the sun, you'll go blind." I've looked at many eclipses. You don't go blind. And I look at the sun all the time. I pray, I meditate to the sun, what I call sun salutations. You don't go blind. The ancients knew that the power of the sun was such that it can help them monumentally in spirit and physical health. You can meditate on the sun. Absolutely. That's why they tell you, "Don't look at the sun, you'll go blind." And you listen. Everything they tell you to do, you listen, because you can't think for yourselves. It's time to wake up out of that sleepless slumber. Bob Marley said it best: "Wake up and live. Rise, oh rise from your sleepless slumber. We're more than sand on the seashore. We're more than numbers." Look it up. The song is called "Wake Up and Live." Read the lyrics. He said it back in 1979. He's telling you folks, wake up. You are zombies. They're controlling you. Now they're going to push this to something else now. With some blue light technology, they're going to have this 9-foot reptile come out of the spacecraft and proclaim to be the savior of humanity, bringing everybody together with one religion, one race. Does that sound familiar? New World Order. That's going to crash too. I know. And Donald Trump's going to come in and save the universe with his phony, "I'm one of you guys." This is good cop, bad cop, folks. Donald Trump is a globalist. This is the guy that signed this country over to FEMA, and FEMA still has control over this country. Look at FEMA's manifesto. They have unlimited power. And this is the guy that was Operation Warp Speed to get Pokey Pokey into your arm as fast as possible. Now they're all saying Pokey Pokey is a bioweapon. This is what I said 4 years ago. They're not telling you what's in it because you wouldn't put it in your body if you did. You know, graphene oxide, recombinant DNA, MRC5, HIV, aluminum, mercury. That's what's in Pokey Pokey. Just some of it. You know, absolutely. Graphene oxide is an industrial metal that works in tandem with those high-speed internet towers and the satellites, because their intent is to hook you up to what they refer to as the Internet of Things. Because once you're hit with Pokey Pokey, your mRNA changes and you're no longer biological. Now you are mechanical, and they can patent you like a transmission of a car or a computer. Don't believe me? Look up the Supreme Court decision in 1994 that if your mRNA has been altered or changed, you are no longer a biological entity. Go for it. Look it up. I'm telling you straight. But again, they're going to fail. You folks need to start thinking for yourself. Stop watching that garbage on TikTok because it's mind control. It's like, look here, look at the sky. How is it doing this? All the fake videos they got, all these kids panicking. That's how they control you. Panic and bedlam, pandemonium, chaos. That's how they control you. Anarchy. You know, everybody just, that's it. We're all going to die. The end of the world, the sky's falling. Again, I've said before in a previous video, look at Orson Welles, what he did in 1930s. You know, what he did a radio show. I think it was I forgot the name of the title of it. The War of the Worlds, I think he was doing. And he was saying that the spacecraft have landed in a field in New Jersey. They're exiting the craft and they're beginning to take over the world. And people were hearing this on the radio and they lost their freaking mind. If you don't believe me, look it up. He created pandemonium and chaos and he got in trouble. But that really what he was doing was he was told to do that because that was a test. Just like 4 years ago, El Scamalama, that was a test. That was actually an exercise. That was a training exercise. You see how people panicked and lost their mind, and I still see people this day wearing masks in grocery stores. Absolutely. Wearing a piece of paper over your lips and nose, as if that's going to stop you from getting a virus. I mean, come on, folks. You got to wake up. You got to do your own thinking, and you got to do your research for yourself. Stop listening to this garbage. It's the same stuff. When you plug into this satanic matrix, what do you think you're going to get? Beautiful, beautiful information that's going to help you, to help others, and help yourself? No. You're going to be plugged into trash that's going to keep you paralyzed in fear, contaminated with worry, chaos. We're going to die. Uh-oh, we have to take a new pokey pokey. That'll save us. All the three-letter agencies, they love us so much. Our government is our father and our mother. It will take care of us because it cares for us so much. Look up the word government. It's actually two words, govern, to control, M-E-N-T, ment, means mind. Mind control. They're telling you right there what they're doing to you. Mind control, government, control, mind. I'm telling you straight. Look it up. You do the research. All the food you've been eating lately, it has nanoparticles in it. Titanium dioxide, E171, is a nanoparticle, which works in tandem with those microwave radiation towers, those internet towers that they got. Don't believe me? Look it up. Microwaves are used in tandem with nanoparticles in medical technology. It is a fact. 1971, the United States Naval Institute of Research did studies on the effects of microwaves on people, and in 1971 they came to a conclusive finding that indeed microwaves affect human beings detrimentally and adversely. They control your mind with these things. That's why you hear high-pitched ringing in your ear sometimes. That's why you get moody. That's why everybody's tired all the time now and very agitated and very volatile. Folks, do your thinking for yourself. This is going to be my last video on this, because after this I'm switching to not a new platform, like a new, well, I should say platform, just a new type of content where I'm going to just be uploading meditative videos. As far as the music I'm going to create, I'll offer that to you for free, and also you'll see me feeding those less fortunate than myself, because that's what I'm really here on this earth for. But anyway, I implore you, for the love of God, stop watching TikTok. It's just orchestrated, scripted garbage. It is. You get so hooked up into the Illuminati, Beyonce and Jay-Z, they're Satanists. Are you really surprised? Are you really shocked? Let me give a little 411 on that. Everybody, all of your favorite sports figures, all of sports, not a little, not some, all of sports worldwide, soccer, football, basketball, baseball, hockey, golf, all of it, all of sports, all of the industry, the entertainment industry, music, movies, television, video games, your food, all of it. I'm telling you, all your talk show hosts, the people you think are so wholesome, like Kelly Clarkson, all of them are in that stuff. They're in it. You know, you call the Illuminati, the Cabal, whatever name you want to use. It's the same garbage. They're all in on it. I told you already. This clique ain't going to give you the fame unless you pass through their doors, and you have to take initiations. You got to kill somebody to get in there. And then it has to be filmed so they can use it as blackmail against you. And if you want even more fame, you got to do even worse things. And then they have the humiliation where they walk you on stage naked like John Cena. That was all done because of humiliation. He has to go through it if he wants to keep his fame. And if you put him in a dress. That's what they do. And these people have no, dignity. They're garbage. They'll do whatever they can to keep that fame, which is an illusion, and their precious lifestyle, their big mansions and their cars and their millions of dollars, because they're evil. Just like the clique that's making them do these things. I shouldn't say making them do it, because they're doing it on their own. Folks, you're living in a lie. The whole world is a lie. Not the earth, not the universe, but everything mechanical. The system, people, governments, belief systems, all of these things, ideologies, doctrines, philosophies, all of this stuff is made up. Again, I've said before, the Egyptian pyramids, you go back to the oldest religion, it only comes in at a 6,000-foot ceiling to the present day. It doesn't exceed that. And if it does, it's still more the same. You're talking thousands of years as opposed to the earth being billions of years. Before any of this was even introduced, a la the human experience. People they're relatively new to this earth, probably almost 4 million years, give or take. Extraterrestrials have been walking this planet for billions of years. But you don't see them inserting systems into society that control your mind and your imagination for nefarious purposes. I'm going to leave you with these words. Do not have a victim mentality. Do not be afraid, and do not believe anything that this system, aka the machine, the enigma, the ghost, tells you or shows you, because it's a lie. Have your faith, belief, hope, trust, and knowing in source, that you are source. That's all you need. And the rest of it's just being made up on the spot. You know, it's just that true. Remember 4 years ago when they would tell us about the, you know what, the everybody was dying from? That's going to last forever and all this stuff. And then they came up with the commercials about the Pokey Pokey. It's both safe and effective. I don't see those commercials anymore. And now Florida's banned that Pokey Pokey because it's a bioweapon. I don't see the commercial saying it's both safe and effective. I don't see that anymore. Where'd that go? They want you to forget about it as if it never happened. You know, think about that for a minute. Think about that for a minute. You know the C word that rhymes with dancer? The C word that everybody gets that rhymes with dancer? Well, that is how they reduce your numbers, folks. That's how they keep the numbers down. If you haven't figured it out. It's because of what they've been putting in the water, synthetic sweeteners, all that stuff. They've been doing it to you for decades. Nothing new. Anyway, this is my final video on this type of topic. I'm going to switch my whole format, my platform, and just switch into something different. I just wanted to share this with you because I was just watching a video yesterday and this young girl was just panicking. Oh my God, I've been seeing so many TikTok videos that the world's coming to an end. That's it. We're done. It's going to be chaos. You might as well just start stocking up now. I'm like, you know, this is exactly what it does to you. This is where I was 4 years ago when this whole thing broke out. I knew what they were saying on the news was fake. It was a lie. I knew it was because I looked at actual pandemics like influenza, the Spanish flu, bubonic plague, black plague. Those were real pandemics. The streets were littered with the dead and dying. Hospitals were bursting at their seams with dead people. 4 years ago, none of that happened. None of that happened. The hospitals were empty. Absolutely empty. And when you come to find out what those people in hospital were actually doing to those patients, you're going to make your head spin. That's why they wouldn't let anybody in those hospitals. That'll come out eventually at some point. I ain't going to say it here because they'll shut my channel down. But anyway, peace, love, and light. For the love of God, peace, love, and light. People, stop fighting with each other. Stop, I got to get him at any at all costs. And I got to beat him. This is not what you're here for. You're being controlled by Satanists and reptiles. No soul. Just love yourself and love the world and love everybody around you as much as you can. I'm not saying open your door to the world and invite in all the garbage and chaos. I'm not saying that. Use your discernment. Use your discernment. But instead of waking up with hate and anger and negativity and hypervigilant attitude, why don't you throw that away and just say, man, I'm tired of carrying this freaking burden that has been impaled in my mind because they want me to be an unconscious soldier in their army of darkness. Dude, you're killing your life. You have no quality of life if you're carrying that freaking garbage around with you. None. Anyway, God bless you. Seriously.